Hi, everyone, or at least Dr. Nolan. My name is Will Lunt, and this is my presentation of my capstone project from all the semester long. Yeah, I'm excited to show you because I've been loving working on it throughout the entire semester, and I'm very proud of how it came out. And yeah, let me show it to you real quick. I'm just going to scoot myself out of here for a second. How are you doing? You doing okay? That's good. All right. Awesome. I'm just gonna scooch myself a little bit, but I'll so yeah, so pretty much my capstone project for this semester was called Beyond the Brochure. Then I kind of changed it last minute to Beyond Magazine, which is what I'm gonna be doing. So pretty much the primary focus of it was I wanted to create an editorial style digital travel and culture magazine that highlights meaningful places across Texas through editorial fashion, photography, and storytelling. I believe the purpose was to kind of focus on tourism medium that is a little bit different than like how it normally is. Normally, you get the very traditional posed, filtered, kind of like overly promotional kind of media now. But I kind of wanted to see there's like a new funky way to kind of just like advertise the places that tourists should go. And so yeah, so I thought why not present a more creative and visually driven perspective for for that topic? And so, yeah, so I think it matters today because audiences are drawn to real experiences, strong visuals, and storytelling that feels genuine rather than bland and generated, especially in the age of AI and generated content on all over social media and photography. So I think it's very important to kind of highlight practical and fun ways to show the places because why not? So, yes, my concept was that I created three digital magazine concepts highlighting specific geographic areas of Texas. I drove to West Texas as well as Austin and kind of highlighted San Marcos as well. So, yeah, so I styled and created editorial fashion photo shoots across Texas, like I mentioned, as well as visual storytelling that's very narrative driven. So the locations that I featured are including Sandmo, like I said, but including Rio Vista Park and 5 Mile, which are two parks that I like to go to more because I'm not a particularly fan of Sewell, but I know that's like the tourist spot in Sandmo. So I kind of thought it'd be fun to kind of highlight the less known areas of Sandmo in a fun way. As well as Marfa Interlingua and Big Bend National Park, as well as Zilker Park in Austin, McKinney Falls State Park, and then also Natural Bridge Caverns. Each location was captured to reflect its atmosphere, identity, and overall feeling. So the research that I did was not only did I research like all like the places that I wanted to kind of like show, I also researched digital storytelling and media, as well as tourism, communication, and editorial branding. So the key findings that I found was that storytelling creates stronger emotional connections. Visual media shapes how audiences perceive places, and then also authentic content is more engaging than traditional advertising. So the research that guided my decision to create an editorial rather than a very promotional project. So the creative plan that I had was that I wanted to approach this by combining photography, fashion styling, and environment to focus on a mood and storytelling rather than just the simple location to kind of like bring that fun element, like I mentioned earlier, as well as creating an editorial magazine style experience. The execution actually went really well. I planned photo shoot concepts. I sourced clothes through thrifting and just like renting from my friends' brands because I wanted to bring in a sense of sustainability into this project. I didn't want to buy anything new. I kind of wanted to see what I could get secondhand because that's how I normally source and kind of like do the materials that I like do for like my side projects. So I wanted to bring that element into it because I think that's also very important to highlight. I sourced the models, and which were just like my friends that like were down to like shoot my weird concepts. I mean, sorry. And yeah, so I captured the environments with a narrative perspective, and I also organized the content into a cohesive visual flow. So the takeaways that I had were that I mean, I loved this. I love this project. It was so fun bringing in all like my like favorite like things together. I'll mention that later. But yeah, so an editorial photo series across multiple Texas locations, a cohesive magazine concept and visual identity, the layout, concept, and structure, the content focus on storytelling and visual experience, and then also the final project that reflects a publishable editorial platform. So I learned a lot of lessons, some new, some old. But pretty much like the main thing that I learned was the importance of planning and flexibility when shooting on location, especially traveling to the location. Anything can happen, so just got to keep an open mind and just like roll with the punches. Balancing creative vision with technical execution, maintaining consistency across different environments. There was so many like weather changes and lighting changes and all of pretty much a lot of anything that could go wrong kind of went wrong, but at the end of the day, like we made it work, and I'm so happy that it did. And then also starting the research earlier improves overall direction. I kind of wish I started a little bit earlier because I didn't really know how I wanted to do this project. So at the beginning, so I'm glad that it came in the end, but I just wish I started a little bit earlier in terms of like getting the correct like concept in my head. Yeah, like I said, this means a lot to me personally. It allowed me to combine my academic and creative interests that I learned all through 4 years of Texas State. I am a mass communication major, but then I double minored in fashion merchandising and international studies. So I brought in the two elements of fashion and travel that I love so much that I studied for essentially and brought that into the magazine. So I was very happy about that. And then, as I mentioned in the paper, I work on the side in various fashion editorial magazines across Texas as a model, photographer, layout, stylist. So this is not necessarily like new kind of concepts to work with, but it was fun to bring into class into like an academic element. So I strengthened my skills once again in editorial photography, creative direction, visual storytelling, and styling and content development. And yeah, this project really reflected my passion for magazines, digital media, fashion, and travel. So let me show you some examples of my work. So I created kind of like a fake Instagram account to kind of like simulate how the magazine would be posting online, and this would be spread across Facebook, across YouTube, across TikTok, across Pinterest, even. So yeah, this is kind of like the concept. I came up with the logo, which is I love it a lot because it's the name, it's the font of the magazine title, but then I added the red, blue, and the star to kind of represent Texas. So it's a nice little hint and a little fond way of, oh, I did spell this wrong. That's embarrassing. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'll fix that later in the final product. But yeah, so this was really, really fun little Easter egg. And then yeah, I just highlighted some of the shots that I got and some like little fun kind of like some articles and then also just shots from the locations that I went to. These two are Interlingua and then Big Bend. And yeah, and then here's kind of like a mock-up of like an Instagram post that I would do. Like I just said for like the most recent one, which be I guess would be the third volume of Beyond Magazine. It's finally available. Order now in link in bio. And then I added some little hashtags right there. And yeah, so these are the three covers for the magazine that I chose of. So like I mentioned earlier, so I have San Marcos in the Hill Country right here. I have West Texas, and then I have Austin. So let me go ahead and click through these. So this is going to be the first one for San Mo and the Hill Country. And I'm just going to scooch myself a little bit further, but I'll still like show myself on camera. Yeah, so I highlighted 5 Mile Dam Park. I took these pictures as well as these over here. I labeled it Serenity because I thought that's just what it was giving. And yeah, just like some little like helpful information for just kind of like setting the vibe. I did Rio Vista here. Very, very cool. Same thing with the information. And then also did Natural Bridge Caverns, which is very, very cool to shoot in. Queens of the Underworld, I named it. And yeah, very, very cool. Just like I took these pictures. Very, very fun. And then yeah, that was the first one. So this is gonna be West Texas. So this is me. I kind of wanted to have like a fun little clown element. So all these concepts that I came up with were I just wanted to have very fun, bold, colorful concepts because I knew this was gonna be black and white. So I kind of wanted to have like a little contrast to it. So yeah, so I wanted to have very fun like elements showing the landscape, but also having fun with the shots as well. So like I mentioned here, just like having fun with the styling, and then some information about Terlingua, and then this was Big Bend, hiking, very beautiful, very very beautiful. That's my friend Kendall who modeled for the Marfa shoot that I did, which is here called Love Letter. We went to the Chinati Foundation. It was so beautiful, as well as the Prada store. And yeah, so this is all on film that I took. This is me and Kendall. And yeah, very, very fun. This is called Caballero. Just some fun little side extra shoot that I did inside our Airbnb. And that was it for West Texas. And now this is Austin, which is honestly, I love this cover so much. This was so fun to shoot. I titled it Over the Falls, and this was shot at McKinney Falls State Park. Very, very cool place. And yeah, this is at Zilker. Kind of like had like a fun little like Adam and Eve twist to it because it just reminded me of like the Garden of Eden, especially at night how we shot it. So Zilker Park. So very, very fun to shoot in. And I took a picture of Barton Springs early morning before it opened. It's so fun to swim there. And then, yeah, I kind of want to turn it into ACL because I think that's one of my favorite times of year in Austin. So I definitely think that should be something very, very fun to highlight for any tourists coming in. So I had fun with this layout, sorry. And yeah, that was it. So, but let me exit out of this real quick. And yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing your critiques about it. And like I said earlier, it was so much fun to kind of bring a fun, creative, personal way to improve Texas tourism. So yeah, thank you so much.